Last time on SV Sparklemuffin. After a calm night in Richardson Bay, we awake to a spectacular morning on the water. I tackle the dubious task of draining the diesel tank, 1 teaspoon at a time for an eternity. That may be an exaggeration. I am the Sisyphus of fuel. I then scrub the tank until my arms fall off. With the diesel tank cleaned, I've returned the umpteen gallons of fuel back to its rightful home, well out of sight and smell. But don't relax just yet. We still have the rest of the fuel system to go through. Like this here primary fuel filter, for example. Why would anyone go to so much trouble? Am I losing my sanity? Well, maybe, but it's not related to this. Yuck. Look at that nasty old filter. The new filter makes an amusing squeak when I fit it in. Diesel engines are reliable because of their relative simplicity. They require only fuel, air, and compression to operate. No spark plugs like a gasoline engine. Most of the time, trouble with a diesel engine comes down to a fuel issue, so it pays to do what you can to prevent those ahead of time. The engine could be an important tool in handling an emergency, and I want to help ensure it's available when I need it. I also want to make sure I've gone through this exercise so I know how everything works. Now we move forward to the secondary fuel filter. It's full of petroleum-based nectar. Has the color of grapefruit juice, but sure doesn't taste like it. Out with the old and in with the new. Replacing the filters has the side effect of introducing air into the fuel system. This is no bueno. So it's necessary to bleed the engine, as it's called, which is systematically expelling the air from the fuel system. I loosen the nut at the top of the fuel filter, the highest point to which the air will rise, and use a little lever on the fuel pump to manually push fuel through the lines. Eventually, fuel starts dripping out. The nut is tightened while continuing to pump so that a seal is made while no air is present. I run the engine and check to make sure nothing's leaking. After increasing the throttle, however, the engine sputters. This tells me there's still air in the system. I will also need to bleed the injectors. I was hoping to avoid this because I'd never done it before, and frankly felt a bit intimidated by the process. In practice, it wasn't so bad, and now I can claim that I've done it. There we go. Now she's running smooth as diesel butter. Hey, good morning. It's 9 a.m. and I have a Skype appointment with Roth Ayer, a climbing instructor in New England. It's a bit of a story as to how I came to know Roth. You see, soon I'll be climbing the nearly 40-foot mast on Sparklemuffin, and funny thing, I'd prefer not to kill myself in the process. Sailors have been climbing up masts through the eons, but I wanted to learn from a climber and not a sailor. More on that later. I posted my questions in an online forum for climbers, mostly getting dismissive responses along the lines of, "Don't worry your pretty little head about climbing, just do what other sailors do."
Okay.
Ross was the only one who took my inquiry seriously and was willing to work with me. And so today, he's going to introduce me to the equipment and techniques I need, and most importantly, show me how to do it. I practice what I've learned from Ross in my living room. So, why did I want to learn from a climber? Well, for one thing, mast climbing gear made for sailors by the boating industry isn't subject to the same rigorous testing that climbing gear is. And while sailors climb masts occasionally, climbers climb regularly, and so I suspect, if alive, know a thing or two about staying that way. The paperwork with the Coast Guard has finally gone through, and she's now officially named Sparklemuffin. So, today I'm removing the old name from her behind and sticking on the new one. Oops, dropped something. Eventually I notice the scraper is missing and find it floating in the slip. After that, I tie it up so it can't escape again. After not so delicately maneuvering a stepladder across the width of the slip, I'm able to easily position myself for the work, which, with the help of a heat gun, is not too bad. It's a gorgeous, if windy, day at the marina. Today's the day I'll be climbing the mast. I designed and made some lazy jacks and want to install them. Lazy jacks are small ropes that help collect the sail when it is being lowered, and to install them I'll need to reach a pair of pad eyes on the mast some 25 feet above the deck. I'm hoisting the two completely independent and redundant ropes, a main climbing rope and a backup. Time to don the climbing harness and gear up. My son Rocky is recording from the safety of the dock. At my waist is a belaying device, and on the climbing rope is an ascender attached to a rope ladder. I'll be using the ascender and rope ladder to incrementally climb my way up the rope. And here we go! I step up on the ladder while taking up slack from the free end of the rope. Progress is slow, just a couple feet each time. Every so often I stop to tie a knot in the free end of the rope. This is to limit how far I fall if the belaying device fails. All of this I learned from Roth the climbing instructor. I definitely recommend him. See the description below the video for his contact info. Lifting your own weight vertically is a seriously intense workout. I haven't had to work this hard since, well, never. The rope is what's known as dynamic climbing rope. It's super stretchy and springy. This sometimes makes it slightly challenging to work with, but the benefit is that if you fall and come up on the rope, it stretches to absorb some of the energy, so there's less damage to your body. If you think watching this part of the video is tedious, you should try doing the climbing. And there they are, almost within reach. The magical pad eyes! I reach the apex of my journey and tie a safety knot. It's windy up here, but the view is pleasant. Time to get the jack lines set up. I have to be very deliberate and make sure I get things right, because I'd rather not have to come back up here to fix a silly mistake. Alright, I think that's it. Time to head down. Going down is so much easier and way more fun. See the description below the video for more information about my climbing setup. While hopefully this gives you some ideas, remember that you're in charge of and responsible for your own safety and ensuring you do what's prudent for your unique situation. Hooray! Novice Firma at last. That's all for now. See you next time.